rock that
Alright, so a couple of videos are going to be coming out, either both of them today or maybe one just today and then another one tomorrow, because I took a day off yesterday. I really wanted to record yesterday, but I took a day off yesterday because I just wasn't feeling too well yesterday. My cough had been at one of the worst I had been, and I just wasn't really feeling myself. I was just completely off. I had some family over. It was Sunday, so it was football day for my uncle and my grandpa. They were just watching the football game. They were being really loud, and I just didn't really feel like recording when they were being really loud and watching the game. So I just wasn't really feeling myself, and because of that, and I know that's not really a good excuse, but that's just what I'm going to use as an excuse. But with the newest episode of My Hero Academia, I just got done watching it, and I thought it was just as good as I thought it was going to be. It was Tamaki, a character that we don't really get to see too often and doesn't really get a lot of the spotlight. He's kind of one of the lesser members of the big three, UA, and I was really impressed with him in this episode, because I don't know why I keep doing this for a lot of characters that have a seemingly underwhelming quirk. I keep thinking that their quirk isn't going to be nearly as good as what they might make it seem like it is. It kind of just all seems underwhelming at first when I see it, right? Because Tamaki's quirk is that he can take the characteristics of whatever he eats and use it as power, and of course they reiterate that once again in the episode. But I was more impressed with what he was capable of being able to do with it, because once again he takes the characteristics of whatever he eats and uses it as a power of just whatever he can do with it, like the tentacles of an octopus or the legs of like a chicken or some bird type thing. But yeah, he was able to actually seemingly combine two characteristics of animals. I think I'm only saying that and because it just kind of seemed that way by how the writing was for the episode from what I was seeing, and it looked really cool. With what he was doing, it actually looked really cool, and this was a good episode for him to kind of develop as a character, because the whole point of it was they were going to show flashback scenes of him basically undervaluing himself and overvaluing his best friend Miro by calling him someone who was as bright as the sun. But then the episode goes on and says that Miro isn't really like that, and the only reason why he was able to ever try to persevere and continue on forward was because of Tamaki being there, and that even though he was incredibly nervous all the time whenever he would try to do like one of the like quirk demonstration classes at UA or just whatever, Tamaki would still sort of try to do it even though he was incredibly nervous, and so that encouraged Miro to try to persevere and do better in the class as well. And he then says that he's someone who's even brighter than the sun, known as the Sun Eater, and that's how he got his name. The episode pretty much shows you how he got the inspiration for his hero name, Sun Eater. And yeah, I thought it was really good. It was more character development for his character, for someone who doesn't really get a lot of the spotlight. Like I said earlier, Tamaki's just a character who just doesn't get any screen time, and now that he's gotten a little bit more screen time, I actually appreciate him a lot more. I don't know if I can say he's like my favorite of the big three, but I definitely like him a lot more. The action in this episode was really good as well. I actually really enjoyed it because it showed a lot more what he was capable of doing. Like I said earlier, he was able to seemingly combine two characteristics of whatever he ate together, which was an octopus and I think a clam, something that has like a hard shell, because he has the octopus tentacles, but then he also made it to where it has a lot more durability, and it kind of had like a hard structure surrounding itself, and he was able to withstand more hits, which was really good in the situation because we have a guy who can do something by like taking small things away. I don't know. There's one guy whose quirk I wasn't really too sure about because I don't know if the episode really explained it too well. But Tamaki, there's like a one point where there was this guy who has like a crystallization like type quirk. Like he's able to surround his whole body with a crystal thing. I don't really know what to call it. He hits Tamaki. Tamaki's about to retaliate towards one of the other guys because he's fighting 3 guys on all by himself. Because there's another dude who has a digestive system that allows him to digest anything within like a second, and he's able to use his teeth and his jaw to snap anything, you know, at ease. Like even after Tamaki had already combined 2 characteristics of whatever he ate together, that made it super durable and super strong. The dude was still able to completely bite through it, and it looked really cool. I'll be honest, it did look really cool. But then the dude I was talking about earlier, whose quirk I'm not really too sure about, like his tentacles completely just go away, and he kind of had like a balled up, like a whole bunch of tentacles balled up together, and it looked really weird. But of course, in the episode, it looks like he's about to be defeated, but then he actually ate some of the crystal that fell off of the guy who had the crystallization all over his body, and he was able to use that to his advantage. He had kind of like chicken legs and was able to use then he tries to take their teamwork away because their teamwork was really good, and then he ends up beating all 3 of them. And so I'm just gonna suspect that he's gonna try to catch up with the rest of the group as soon as possible, or try to, you know, regroup with other police officers, because he is kind of injured and kind of needs to get healed up really quickly, as soon as possible at least. But I don't know what's gonna happen. He's gonna try to do something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, still sick. In case you couldn't tell already. But yeah, this is basically just what we're gonna have for next week's episode as well, seemingly from the previews. It's gonna be, you know, this group of heroes, group of pros with Midoriya and Kirishima. Kirishima's gonna be the one fighting another one of the group of the 8 Bullets, the Hasai group. It's gonna be more focused on Kirishima and him having more character development, because even though he had that really cool episode a couple weeks back where he used a move that looked really cool, that wasn't really like a character defining moment for him, and that was a moment that was going to develop him more as a character. That was more so a moment for him to look really cool and for him to develop more as a hero, and not really his own person, his own character. This episode or next episode is going to be more focused around that specifically, and that's what it seems like it's going to be. And I'm all for it, you know, because I actually really like Kirishima. I think Kirishima is a fun character. I like his quirk. It's definitely a lot stronger than what I was anticipating, and so I'm pretty excited about that. But for the sake of keeping the video as short as possible, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. For what it was worth, I did like the episode. I thought it looked good. I thought the music was good. I thought the character development for Tamaki was really good. I thought the fights looked really cool. Yeah, and I'm more invested. Of course, I'm still more invested, and I'm really excited for what we're gonna get and for how this arc is gonna end. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. If you did enjoy for whatever reason, be sure to leave a like. And if you already subscribed, for more videos like this, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. I'm out.